One thing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau can't credibly claim about Canada's ongoing foreign interference scandal is that he was never warned. In 2017, he himself formed a special committee of parliamentarians. There were members from all parties. It was chaired by a Liberal MP, and its members were given security clearance to view top secret documents about issues of national security and to interview senior security and intelligence officials in confidence. And so that committee comes back to the Prime Minister in 2019, 2 months before the 2019 federal election, where we now know there were concerns about foreign interference, just as there was in the 2021 federal election. So it comes back to him in August of 2019, and Trudeau's given a confidential version of the report. A few months later, with areas sensitive to national security redacted from the report, a public version of it was made. And the public version was alarming enough and disturbing enough. It said that foreign interference in Canada's democratic institutions and espionage was a greater threat to the national interest of Canada and its economy than even terrorism. And it said that this interference wasn't just going on at the federal level or only with federal politicians. It said it was going on at every level of government: federal, provincial, municipal, Indigenous. And it said that public officials across the country, in all of these levels of government, that there were attempts being made to influence them and co-opt them by a number of countries. But China was mentioned more than any other country. It was mentioned 69 times in a 54-page report. The report also said that when Canadians of Chinese origin, who were human rights activists and who were speaking out about Beijing's human rights abuses, they were being targeted by agents of the Chinese government in Canada, and that one of the tactics that was used was threatening them or their families. This is in 2019, and we now know in 2023 that that was one of the major concerns about what might have happened to Conservative MP Michael Chong, and he was never told about that there might be this effort going on. Now, this report also said that one of the problems was then people who were complaining about actions against them by government agents of China in Canada, when they went to the authorities, they received conflicting advice about what to do from CSIS, which is the Security Intelligence Network, from the RCMP, the National Police Force, and from local police, and that often what they were being told didn't make sense or it was incoherent. Now, one of the problems might have been, as the committee reported, that the different agencies meant to combat foreign interference in Canada had different definitions of what interference meant. And they also had different impressions of what specific incidents were with regard to their seriousness. So what happened to this report? Because it was, it was pretty scary. Well, Trudeau received it. He didn't do anything. He didn't even respond to the recommendations. And even the committee, his committee that he created from members of all parties that acted honorably and did what he asked them to do, he ignored what they found out. Today, of course, he says, 4 years later, that he should have listened to those recommendations, and there were 9 of them, along with 8 findings of fact, then he did. And that he's going to listen to them seriously going forward, because he's asked them to review the same issues again. But what he's never explained is, why didn't he do that 4 years ago, rather than just today? And does that raise questions about how serious the issue is going to be treated this time? I'm Lorrie Goldstein of Sun Media. We're always interested in hearing your views, and please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and our YouTube channel.